A pleasant morning to each and everyone. So to our distinguished guests, members of the faculty from the College of Social Work and Community Development, and to everyone present here today, we would like to welcome all of you in the premiere launching of the advocacy video entitled Ang Lihim ni Emily. It has been more than a year of us living and trying to survive the pandemic, albeit one day at a time. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought to the fore many long-standing issues that we Filipinos face. One of these is the prevalence of online sexual exploitation of children. In the supposed safety of a home, unknowingly, there are other children who are being exploited through the various platforms in the internet and who are in dire need of help. Now, more than ever, we must all work hand in hand to protect and to promote the rights of our children. Through this advocacy video we have prepared, we hope to spark action and to help put an end to OSEC. On behalf of our team, I would like to thank everyone for joining us here today and for making this activity possible. We all hope that we will gain something from this advocacy activity. Once again, thank you and a pleasant morning.
Thank you for that very warm welcome, Ms. Mary Rose. So now I'm really grateful. We are really grateful to everyone for taking time with us today as we have our premiere show of Ang Lihim ni Emily. So this is an advocacy project in compliance with our social welfare policy advocacy under the guidance of our Professor Rainier Almazan. So to introduce the members who worked hard, who contributed their efforts, skills, and time to make this event and project. So I will introduce one by one. So yours truly, your MC for today, Carmen Erica Bumanlag. We have our technical team, Miss Benice Dutoon and Sir Zar Cornelius David. We also have Miss Mary Rose Elio, who have welcomed us earlier. And of course, our team leader, Miss Leia Tomelden Lagmay. So we are grateful and overwhelmed by the support that we are receiving from all of you. So to begin with, I would like to share our few house rules and reminders in today's online discussion. So please, first, we are aware that some of us might be experiencing unstable internet connection. And so we understand if you will not turn on your video or cameras to help save on bandwidth. However, we also encourage everyone to turn on the camera if one is speaking or discussing a certain point with the group. Second, the team will be doing our best to maximize an hour for the event, but please bear with us if we will consume an hour and few minutes because we have calculated yesterday, so it will take like 1 hour and 15 minutes. So here for the span of an hour, we hope that everyone can commit their full attention so that we will appreciate and enjoy every part of the program. For the third one, in case when one is suddenly disconnected with our meeting, you are very welcome to rejoin, and then you will be assisted by our technical crew. And then everyone shall be placed on mute to avoid noise distractions. Please use the raise hand button if you wish to speak, or kindly use our chat box if you have any concerns that you want to address, and we will immediately acknowledge it and we will discuss it with the group. To proceed in our flow of events, okay, so first we will hear some insights from our guest speaker, Commissioner Gwendolyn Pimentel-Cana, to be followed by an introduction and backgrounder about our project. And of course, we will show you our video, Ang Lihim ni Emily, to be followed by the feedback and insights provided by our representatives from various sectors. Then if we still have time, we will open the virtual floor for the attendees who want to add feedback or response from the video. Then we will present our certificate. And then for the last part of the program, we will have the closing remarks from our Professor Rainier Almazan. So we have posted the link on your chat box. Please check it po. It is a link of our evaluation form. Please, we will really appreciate your help in completing the form because it will be needed to assess the outcome of our project. And now, without further ado, We are fortunate enough to have this morning our guest speaker. So let me introduce her. She has been active in helping formulate and lobby law promoting the welfare of abandoned, neglected, and abused children. She has supported laws for the protection of children from exploitation and discrimination, promoting the welfare of the kasambahays, providing a reparation and recognition of human rights victims during the Marcos regime, among others. She earned her Bachelor of Laws and Master's degree in Public Administration from the University of the Philippines. Our guest speaker is no other than Commissioner Gwendolyn Pimentel Gana of the Commission on Human Rights.
Thank you, Carmi. Good morning, everyone. Allow me first to thank you for inviting me to be part of this advocacy project, especially to my good friend Leah Lagmay and to Professor Rainier and, of course, to the team. To be with men and women who are experts, knowledgeable, and committed in doing social work is indeed a rare and special event, and I am honored and proud to be here with you today. The animated video, Ang Lihim ni Emily, is a timely and relevant advocacy material on one of the most devastating situations being experienced by a significant number of Filipino children today. Online sexual exploitation and abuse of children, or OSAEC, is considered as one of the worst forms of child abuse and exploitation, not only in our jurisdiction, but also worldwide. As we all know, the Philippines is a signatory to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. The convention provides that state shall always take appropriate legislative, administrative, social, and educational measures to protect the child from all forms of physical or mental violence, injury or abuse, neglect, maltreatment, or exploitation, including sexual abuse. Aside from the UNCRC, Republic Act 7610, or the Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act, categorically prohibits sexual exploitation of Filipino children. Unfortunately, in spite of these legal frameworks, the Philippines has become the #1 global source of child pornography and the epicenter of the live stream sexual abuse trade. 1 in 5 Filipino children are vulnerable to online sexual abuse and exploitation. The Department of Justice, Office of Cybercrime, reported that they have received at least 600,000 cyber tips of sexual images of Filipino children in 2018. This is more than a 1,000% increase from the previous 45,645 in 2017. Clearly, the problem of sexual exploitation of our children, especially during this time of national health pandemic, requires proactive and decisive actions. Then, how could we prevent OSAEC? What are the possible interventions and remedies available to us? We at the Commission on Human Rights propose the following. 1, the passage of the law on OSAEC. I am glad to share with you that both houses of Congress are deliberating the various proposed measures on how to prevent OSAEC by strengthening government structures at all levels and exalting accountabilities not only from perpetrators, but also from facilitators who include parents or relatives, service providers, internet intermediaries, and law enforcers, as the case may be. Number 2, government must improve its capacity, example, software, law enforcement's technical knowledge on detecting OSAEC activities, and must provide safe and accessible reporting mechanisms. These mechanisms must be communicated well to concerned line agencies and government instrumentalities such as the LGUs where such activities actually happen or originate. Number 3, to continuously capacitate our frontliners to include the Department of Justice, the Philippine National Police in prosecuting and investigating cases of OSAEC. Number 4, for the government agencies, both at the national and local levels, to come up with a nationwide information campaign on the detrimental impact of commercializing our children, not only to the children themselves, but to the entire nation as well. Ang Lihim ni Emily is a good example that can be used in this campaign. Number 5, for the national government to continue its partnership with international agencies to monitor the OSAEC activities and arrest of international and foreign perpetrators. Number 6, for the Department of Education to ensure school-age children to be aware on the dangers of engaging in online sexual activities. Children themselves must be educated on the evil and negative effects of OSAEC. There must be learning modules on this. Again, ang lihim ni Emily can be used for this particular purpose. Number 7, learning sessions on OSAEC should be included in the Department of Social Welfare and Development's Pantawid Pampamilya program. How to protect and how to value and treat children appropriately must be taught to parents as well. Number 8, for the DSWD to set up programs and services for victims of sexual abuse and exploitation, focusing on coping with their traumatic experience and providing livelihood opportunities to address the cause of their exploitation as well. Number 9, barangay officials, the barangay counselor for the protection of children members, and other community leaders must be trained on how to detect OSAEC activities and how to handle victims in their barangays. Barangay VAUSI desk must be working and capable on accepting such incidents. And lastly, our children must be educated on when, where, and how to report OSAEC. They must be taught how to protect themselves from any potential abuses and exploitations, whether online, in their communities, or at their homes. So, as an institution mandated to monitor the compliance of the Philippine government to its international agreements and to ensure the protection of the rights of the vulnerable and the disadvantaged, the CHR has provided interventions in various capacities. At the local levels, through our regional offices, via our social media platforms, by providing online legal services, by the creation and setting up of online reporting portals through our complaints action desk. Also, the CHR participated in various interagency bodies that directly monitor the implementation of child protection laws and the promulgation of policies and guidelines. Finally, the CHR, through its Policy Division and Child Rights Center, participates in crafting laws by providing policy recommendations and attending actual deliberations in committee hearings and technical working groups in Congress. Let me close by sharing with you a line from one of the speeches of then US President Franklin D. Roosevelt. We cannot always build the future for our youth, but we can build our youth for the future. To all the academicians and social workers who are present with us this morning, you have a vital role to play as you have been given the privilege to contribute in molding our children and youth to become resilient, adaptable, and informed citizens of this country. Let us protect our children and allow them to enjoy the rights enshrined in the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, in our Constitution, and in our various domestic laws. Let us join hands to provide them with an environment conducive to their full development and a nation that respects their dignity as human persons, young as they may be. Thank you again for having me today, and congratulations on the launching of the Ang Lihim ni Emily. And I wish you well and good luck, and God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Pimentel Gana, for the very insightful message. We're really honored to have you today, po. Thank you so much. And now, to give us the background as to why we chose to advocate against OSEC, here is Miss Leah. Miss Leah, take it away.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Carmi, and thank you so much, Commissioner Pimentel Gana. We are eternally grateful for your making time for us today. Maraming salamat. Ang dami niyong nabigay na insight sa amin. Thank you very much. Now, my role today is to give everyone some sort of information and backgrounder on online sexual exploitation of children. I will start off with an introduction about what OSEC is, although Commissioner Gana actually explained to us a lot of information about OSEC, why OSEC is prevalent in the Philippines, and why OSEC is our advocacy of choice. So what is OSEC? OSEC is the online sexual exploitation of children. I am paraphrasing from the IJM definition of OSEC, which is the production for the online publication. This includes photos, videos, and live streaming of the sexual abuse or exploitation of a minor. Have a look at the photo we have on the screen for a third party who is not in the physical presence of the victim. This is the main difference with the what we used to know as sexual abuse, because now we use laptops, gadgets to go online, and usually it is in exchange for compensation. The Philippines has become a global hotspot for OSEC. This is according to data from international law enforcement agencies. So why is OSEC so prevalent in the Philippines? This is because of widespread poverty. Uh, it is used as a form of income for many families. In fact, in some communities, it is a cottage industry. Another reason is the cheap and accessible internet and smartphones. Looking at the infographics you have on the screen, it shows the extent to which social media and the internet has infiltrated Philippine society. 138% of the Philippine population versus 66% of the world population are unique mobile phone users. Mas marami pa ang cellphone sa population ng Pilipinas. Why? Because many Filipinos have more than one cell phone. 67% of the Philippine population versus 57% of the world population are internet users. And 80% of the Philippine population versus 53% of the world population are active social media users. So you see the extent of the influence of social media and the internet on Philippine society. It is unfortunate that our English proficiency has become detrimental to our Filipino children. Then there is the wide availability of money remittance centers, which enables the perpetrator to send money directly to the Filipino facilitator. And then there are the prevailing norms of secrecy dahil nakakahiya daw ang maging biktima ng OSEC. And why did we choose OSEC as our advocacy? Commissioner Gana actually explained a few reasons why. Next slide, please. There has been an alarming increase of OSEC cases since the pandemic. Images and videos of child pornography from the Philippines tripled, as you can see on the graph on your screen, between 2019 to 2020. Tech companies reported more than 1.29 million images of videos and pictures of child abuse posted from the Philippines in 2020. There was a 265% spike in OSEC cases in the early weeks of the lockdown, according to the DOJ. Now, the thing is, OSEC is a secret crime. Usually, there are no witnesses to this crime. It takes place in the dark and supposedly safe homes of our children. It is often underreported. IJM statistics state that 41% of traffickers are parents and 42% of traffickers are their relatives. This is heartbreaking because children are stuck in their homes today during the pandemic. They are stuck with the very people who are the facilitators of this crime. So who will tell OSEC victims that what is being done to them is wrong? That the facilitators are their relatives. We need to take action now. We need to give the victims of OSEC a lifeline. Now, the choice of channel was easy. When dealing with children, cartoons are the best way of getting their attention and getting them to listen. A 6-minute cartoon video is easily shareable. It can be used by schools, teachers, advocates as a tool to spread awareness. Ang Lihim ni Emily is groundbreaking and innovative. Why? Because there is no OSEC awareness video at the moment targeting Filipino children. In my many years helping vulnerable children, I have noticed that in many cases, the publication materials are in English, and I wonder about this. Most of our vulnerable children speak the most common dialects in the Philippines, Tagalog or Bisaya. So our cartoon is in Tagalog with Bisaya subtitles. We would have created another cartoon in Bisaya if we had the funds. Maybe that is something for a future project. We had many discussions with our animator to ensure that the cartoon clearly shows a Filipino setting, culture, and environment to inspire empathy from a child who may be a victim of OSEC. So that upon watching Emily's story, she would say, ganyan-ganyan din ang nangyayari sa akin. And because cartoons give children a world of possibilities that may seem hopeless in real and practical life, then because of the cartoon, the child could stop and wonder and say to herself, baka naman may makakatulong sa akin. Baka naman pwede akong magsumbong sa isang tao. That is our aim with the use of Ang Lihim ni Emily. Now, initially, we wondered whether we could take on this task of, next slide please. Oh, sorry, here it is. Initially, we wondered whether we could take on this task because when dealing with children, we need to take so many things into consideration. We had lots of questions. We thought, how do we illustrate sexual exploitation to a 9-year-old child? How do we convince a child to tell on a trusted family members? Where can a child OSEC victim get help from? How do we relate child rights with online sexual abuse? So we did our online research on OSEC and Filipino animation. We had our team brainstorming. We created a storyline. We consulted with experts. We spoke to experts from the International Justice Mission. We spoke to a child psychologist with experience, many decades of experience, in fact, in child sexual abuse. We asked for help from grade school teachers and social workers who have expertise in dealing with children. And very importantly, we actually had a pilot testing with children. And we asked for their views, we asked for their comments, and we incorporated all of this into Ang Lihim ni Emily. Now, once we created the video Ang Lihim ni Emily, we could actually have stopped and rested. But because we have a great team of social workers who by this time strongly believed in our advocacy, we went further and we created a platform on Facebook to extend awareness, prevention, and call for action to eliminate OSEC cases in the Philippines. Thanks to our team member, Sar David, who was instrumental in managing this page. We started this 3 weeks ago, and today, as of last night, we had 416 followers, 396 page likes, 15 posts this week, and 90 engagements as well. Now, social media, as I explained earlier, and internet are very powerful tools. And we are now using the very tool that perpetrators of OSEC use to fight and prevent OSEC among Filipino children. Now, what are our future plans? Our future plans after this premiere showing is to upload and share the video in YouTube, FB, and UPCSWC High Kilos. We have communicated with NGAs, LGUs, NGOs, and CSOs, including the International Justice Mission, who was partner schools, and hopefully use the video as an advocacy. So without further ado, we'd like to present to you an awareness and prevention cartoon on online sexual exploitation of children. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you Ang Lihim ni Emily. Thank you.
Magandang araw mga bata! Ako ay isang guro at ako ay si Ginang Santos. Ngayong araw ay mag-uusap tayo tungkol sa pang-aabuso. Ang lahat ng mga bata ay mayroong mga karapatan. At isa sa mga karapatan natin ay ang magkaroon ng proteksyon laban sa pang-aabuso. Ang pang-aabuso ay anumang uri ng gawain na maaari magdala ng kapahamakan sa inyong pisikal na kalusugan o pag-iisip. Kadalasan ng mga bata ay lumalaki na inaalagaan at inaaruga ng mga mahal sa buhay. Nakakalungkot ngunit minsan ay may mga batang sinasaktan o inaabuso ng mga kapamilya o mga malapit sa kanila. Maraming klase ang pang-aabuso, ngunit ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon ay isang klase ng pang-aabuso na gamit ang video o kamera. Kung saan ang bata ay sasabihan na maghubad sa harap ng kamera at ipakita ang mga pribadong parte ng katawan. Pero huwag kayong matakot. Tuturuan ko kayo kung ano ang gagawin nyo kung kayo ay malagay sa ganitong sitwasyon. Heto ang kwento ni Emily. Ang pangalan ko ay Emily at ako ay 10 taong gulang. Kami ay masayang naninirahan sa isang maliit na bahay kasama ang aking mga magulang, kapatid at ibang kapamilya. Labandera ang nanay ko at sa construction naman ang tatay ko. Naghirap ng husto ang buhay namin nang mawala ng trabaho ang tatay ko dahil sa COVID na pandemya. Isang araw, habang naglalaro kami ng aking kapatid, ginaya kami sa loob ng kwarto ng aking tita upang mag-video daw kami. Sinabihan kaming bibigyan kami ng pera at regalo, kaya natuwa kami magkapatid. Natuwa din kami na ma-video at makuha ng picture para daw sa Facebook. Pinaglaro kami sa kwarto. Masaya kaming naglaro nung umpisa, pero ako'y nagtaka at nalito nung sinabihan kami maghubad ng damit at ipakita ang aming mga pribadong parte ng katawan sa harap ng kamera. Pakiramdam ko ay mali yung pinapagawa sa amin, pero siya ay aming kapamilya at isa siya sa nangangalaga sa amin. Mabait siya at binibigyan pa ako ng pera at regalo, kaya hindi ko maintindihan ang nararamdaman ko at litong-lito ako. Naging balisa ako, malungkutin at dumilim ang buhay. Napakabigat ng aking lihim at hindi ko alam kung kanino ko maaaring ikwento ang nangyari sa akin. Buti na lang ay nakausap ko ang matalik kong kaibigan na si Camille. Sinabihan ako ni Camille na kausapin ng guro namin na si Ginang Santos. Mapapagkatiwalaan ko daw ang aming guro. Maniniwala siya sa akin at hindi niya ako papagalitan o pagtatawanan. Huh? Tama itong ginawa mo, Emily. Proud ako sa iyo dahil alam kong mahirap para sa iyo na ikwento ito, pero naging matapang ka para sa iyo at para na din sa kapatid mo. Kaya mga bata, dapat niyong tandaan na kung kayo ay pinaghubad sa harap ng video o kamera upang ipakita ang inyong mga pribadong parte ng katawan, ito ay mali. Ito ay pang-aabuso at paglabag sa inyong karapatan. Maaring gamitin ang larawan o video ng pribadong bahagi ng inyong katawan at ipakalat ito sa cellphone, Facebook, Instagram o buong internet. Pwede kayong maging biktima ng mga kapamilya, kasama sa bahay, kapitbahay, malapit na kaibigan o di kaya ay mga nakakausap nyo sa internet. Kaya ugaliing mag-ingat sa inyong mga nakakausap at ibinabahaging personal na larawan o impormasyon, lalong-lalo na sa social media. Okay lang mag-selfie, pero huwag magbabahagi ng mga larawan na may masaselang parte ng inyong katawan. Kahit bigyan kayo ng pera o anumang regalo. Laging tandaan, kung kayo ay pinaghubad sa harap ng kamera upang ipakita ang inyong mga pribadong parte ng katawan, sumigaw ng malakas na huwag at tumakas. Maaaring humingi ng tulong sa nakakatandang pinagkakatiwalaan tulad ng mga guro. Huwag kayong matakot magsabi. Maniniwala at maiintindihan kayo ng guro nyo. Maari kayong magsabi ng personal at harap-harapan kung kayo ay nasa paaralan o kaya kung nasa bahay kayo sa pamamagitan ng text, FB Messenger o tumawag sa cellphone. Maari din kayong magsabi sa barangay o kumontak sa Action Line 1343 o Bantay Bata Hotline 163.
All right, so that is our video project against OSEC. So I hope we have gained some new learning points from our video. And once again, we are very thankful to everyone who took part in creating the video. So to hear the reactions from our representatives from different organizations, so let me introduce our first reactor. So since our target market are children, it is fitting that we start off with a child reactor. So she is 13 years old and her name is Desiree. So Desiree.
Good morning po.
Morning.
Ang naramdaman ko sa pagkatapos manood ng ay malungkot dahil sa naging karanasan ni Emily, pero naging masaya din ako po dahil hindi niya ito itinago, kundi ipinaalam niya sa guro niya. Maganda din po ang pagkagawa ng video dahil maganda ang mga kulay, design at iba pa. At mas naintindihan ko po kung ano ang gagawin ko pag may nangyaring aksidente na katulad kay Emily na pinahubad sa camera o video. Alam ko din kung kay Nino pwedeng manghingi ng tulong. Ayun po. Thank you.
Thank you, Desiree. Napakasaya sa puso namin na marinig yung feedback mula sa iyo. So, naging malungkot ka, masaya, pero may natutunan ka sa video. Thank you so much. And to introduce our second reactor, she is a graduate of Bachelor in Elementary Education. She finished her Master's in Education major in Educational Leadership, and she's currently finishing her doctoral degree in Educational Leadership and Management. She's a Teacher 3 in an elementary school in Malasique, Pangasinan. Our second reactor, Miss Jessa Marie Martinez.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for inviting me, especially to Miss Carmi Erica Bumanlag. My reaction in this video, this is something that I would let my students watch. At first, because it was so good, I thought it was a bit short. But then I thought of my students. Children, as we all know, have shorter attention span, and the video's duration of around 6 minutes was just right. It was brief, concise, and substantial. The video was direct to the point and can be used as an infomercial in offices like in DepEd. And ang lihim ni Emily can be integrated in subjects like ESP or Edukasyon sa Pagpapakatao and Araling Panlipunan. Thank you for this because I think as a teacher, I can use this in teaching my students and in informing them about OSEC. I would like to integrate this in ESP because it shows the good and bad values of people. And also in Araling Panlipunan because it is what is happening in the society. And ito yung nangyayari sa lipunan, and AP is not just about the past events, but also about the current issues. It is a great way to educate and also entertaining because even though it has a sensitive content, I can still show it to the pupils because it is easily understandable. And they say that education starts at home, but some parents are unable to explain much on this. So as a teacher, I have a responsibility in discussing about the sexual exploitation that is happening to the children. And videos like Ang Lihim ni Emily is a great tool to teach the children, lalo na mas gumagamit sila ngayon ng cellphones and laptops for their learning. So thank you for this, and congratulations to all of you for creating a wonderful and creative video.
Thank you so much, Miss Jessa. We really appreciate your feedback. And we really need teachers in order to make this video known to children. So mahalaga po ma-reach natin yung mga bata sa mga paaralan. Thank you so much, Miss Jessa. And for our third reactor, so she is currently Social Work Officer 3. She is the center head in Regional Home for Girls, Palayan City, Nueva Ecija. She's a National Best Center Head awardee, and under her supervision, the agency won the Regional DSWD Praise Award. So she was also a CSC Pag-asa awardee and a former faculty of social work in Wesleyan University, Philippines. She graduated her master's degree in social work from University of the Philippines, Diliman. So our third reactor, no other than Miss Emelita Gurley Cruz Bolivar. Ma'am Gurley.
Ayan. Thank you, Carmi. Nakalimutan ko mag-unmute. Sorry for that, no? And congratulations to the all the students, no? Mga kilala ko yung iba dyan. Andyan pala si Cesar. Okay, that's congratulations. Ang galing ng inyong advocacy material. And tulad ng sinabi ni teacher, no? Simple siya, madaling intindihin ng mga bata kasi bata ang ating audience dito, no? For, I think, siguro pwede siya sa below 10 or yeah, mga ganon or 12. Kasi the video talks about the why, the how, no? Basically kasi importante sa mga bata maintindihan nila that itong kaso ng OSEC ay hindi actually nakakahiya, na because they are victims. Yun yung importante na makarating sa kanila. The very reason why disclosure is somehow difficult for them. Kasi most of the cases na meron kami dito sa center na OSEC, sila yung mga nare-rescue eh. Hindi sila yung nagtatapat, nag-disclose sa kaibigan, sa mga teachers, no? Most of the time, majority, I think, ng mga OSEC cases namin na nare-refer sa center ay result ng mga raid, no? Result ng rescue operations, no? And wala pa kaming OSEC case na nagkaroon ng disclosure sa kaibigan. Because basically, yeah, that's one thing na bullseye ng video natin, ng advocacy natin, yung hindi ito nakakahiya. And it's really very important for these children to understand that they are victims. No? They may have allowed, somehow, no, they allowed that thing to happen because of fear. No? And then later on, andyan na nga yung stigma. Kasi may stigma yan eh, yun yung importante na maintindihan. But for all their children, kasi there are some important reasons na maintindihan din natin bakit may OSEC. It was actually mentioned by Commissioner Pimentel, ano, na widespread poverty. That's one thing. Another one is, I think isang pinaka-importante na hindi medyo na-mention dito, yung value system na meron ang pamilya. Isang importante yan eh. Actually, it's boiled down. Kahit na merong poverty kasi, but it's the value system na meron ngayon sa family na ipapasa sa younger generation. Ito yung dapat na bigyan natin ng mas matinding advocacy, ng matinding pagkilos ng gobyerno at pribadong sektor para mas palakasin natin yung value system ng pamilya na meron tayo. Kasi ito yung talagang eroding ngayon. Because most of our children ito yung lumalabas, no? Hindi malabo sa kanila or hindi malinaw sa kanila na importante yung respeto sa sarili. As long as kumakain ka, ang ang lumalabas sa mga interview namin sa OSEC namin, kasi kailangan namin ng pera. Wala kaming makain. So it talks about the value. How to earn money, hindi yun issue sa kanila. No? Basta't ang importante ay meron silang pagkain sa table, meron silang pambili ng mga gusto nila. So it talks about the value. Sa mga older children siguro yun ang sa mga bata kasi younger than 7 below or 10 below, talagang madaling i-entish yung mga yan eh. And somehow they follow because of fears. Because majority of them, yung authority ng magulang, authority ng mga kamag-anak, yun ang sinusunod nila. Dahil pag hindi sila sumunod, wow, may parusa. Yung ganon. And yun yung nangyayari. Yun yung mga sitwasyon namin, yun ang katotohanan ng sitwasyon ng mga OSEC children na dumadating dito sa aming center. So I think dun tayo mag-focus din, no? Sa mga older children din. Meron tayo dyan sa mga bata, pero yun nga, yung advocacy natin para ito ay ma-disclose nila at kanino magsasabi, andyan maliwanag yan, no? Siguro lagyan lang ng diin yung, kasi ang takot nila yung stigma, kasi kukonti yung praise na may kinalaman sa hindi ito nakakahiya. Importante kasi yun na mas maintindihan ng mga bata. But the video itself, napakaganda, napakalinaw, napaka-short din, napakaganda niya. Sa mga bata kasi, lang yan, talagang kailangan short, pero kailangan direct din. Yan. Thank you very much sa opportunity to be one of your reactors. And I hope mas marami pang ganyan na materials na ma-develop tayo. And thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Girlie. Okay na po. Thank you, Ma'am Girlie. We'll take note of your feedback po about the value system, the advocacy for the older children. Salamat po. Actually, sa Home for Girls po, naghihintay din ang mga OSEC clients ng ating recorded video na i-upload natin sa Facebook. Maghihintay po sila para mapanood din nila. And we're very grateful, ma'am. Thank you, Ma'am Girlie. So now to introduce our next reactor. So she is a registered guidance counselor who earned her doctoral degree in guidance and counseling. She's a trainee and consultant on child protection and currently serving as the senior guidance counselor at Tarlac State University and the president of Philippine Guidance and Counseling Association in Tarlac chapter. Our fourth reactor, Dr. Rosana Pablico.
Good morning. Thank you, Carmi. Good morning to Commissioner Gana, to Professor Rainer Almasan, and the Dean and Faculty of DSWUP, and of course the students. Okay, I was invited by Zar. Thank you, Zar, for inviting me. And according to Zar, my task is to react on the video entitled Ang Lihim ni Emily. I have dissected each part and studied its applicability in terms of the law, age ng mga bata, literature, and of course, my experience as school counselor. I've also worked in a public school here in Tarlac for 3 years, and I have experienced a lot of abuses, no? And because of the child protection policy of DepEd. Okay, I have several points. Of course, first is I would like to congratulate the team. Napakaganda, napaka-clear ng video nyo. At ang ganda, gumamit kayo ng cartoon at tamang-tama ito sa mga bata. Very attractive ito sa mga young learners. At I can see that you have undergone all the processes or the stages to say that this video is valid, no? And basic but essential information on how children can protect themselves from OSEC were shown in a 6-minute video. That's very nice. Congratulations for that. It is very timely because children are quarantined and not yet allowed to go to school and they are required to stay in their house. At alam naman natin, kapag bata kasi, most of the perpetrators are those they know. Family members, carers, okay, babysitters, aunties, relatives, kami magtitiwala sa taong hindi nakakilala. Okay, so nandyan yan sa inyong video. Okay, that's a very good point. And napaka-timely nito kasi nasabing na nila kanina ni Commissioner at saka ni Team Leader na tumataas talaga ang online sexual exploitation of children ngayong pandemic. According to Metro Manila, CNN Philippines, the number of online tips about alleged activities involving online sexual exploitation of children rose to 1.2 million in 2020. This is 3 times the 400,000 reports received in 2019. And Save the Children Philippines have raised concerns that more children are at risk from online sexual abuse and exploitation amid the COVID-19 pandemic as families resort to easy money due to deepening poverty. Okay, this is the reason. At ang nagsabi niyan ay si Attorney Alberto Muyo, Chief Executive Officer of the Save the Children Philippines. So the video is very timely. Okay. The second point, it is urgent that schools and other agencies must do awareness campaign on this. Let's teach the children personal safety lessons as part of their subject. Okay, pwede natin gamitin ang video as part of the children's personal safety lesson. Alam ko tinuturo yan sa mga bata, personal safety lesson. Okay, so the video highlighted the importance of the teacher in preventing OSEC. If you can see, the teacher is the main character in the video. Okay, so meron tayong tinatawag na DepEd Order Number 14, Series 2012, or the Child Protection Policy of DepEd that states teachers and learning facilitators, especially in learning centers, are their substitute parents and are expected to discharge their functions and duties with this in mind. In this connection, the Family Code empowers the school, its administrators and teachers, or the individual entity or institution engaged in child care to exercise the special parental authority and responsibility over the child, while under their supervision, instruction, or custody. Di ba ang sabi natin kanina na ang pangunahing perpetrator ng bata sa OSEC ay nasa kanilang mga bahay. So if the family could not protect them, saan pa sila pupunta? Kundi sa kanilang mga guro. So tama lang na ang pangunahing tauhan sa video ay isang guro. Ang responsibilidad ng isang guro na protektahan ang kanilang mga estudyante na abuso. Kaya ngayon, sa Child Protection Policy ng DepEd, lahat ng mga schools ay dapat merong Child Protection Committee. But what about now that learners do not go to school? Where would they ask for help? No, tiningnan ko rin yan sa video. Yes, the video is also informing the children that there are other people or adults who can help them. Okay, nakalagay ito. They can go to the barangay, no, they can go to the social worker. Parang hindi ko narinig yata dito. Yung mga social workers, di ba, dapat bida kayo dito sa video. Okay? And pinakita din sa video na tinatawag na grooming or kung kailan binibuild ng perpetrators ang trust ng kanilang mga bata. So dapat alam ng mga bata yan at napakaganda at nailagay ninyo doon. At kung makikita na itong grooming signs na to, ito na yung hudyat na kailangan na nilang humingi ng tulong. Okay. So hindi ko nakadetalye dito sa aking papel pero mahaba ng masyado. No? So nandun naman sa video. Okay? Okay. Tapos isa pang point is, nandun na yung mga grooming, like pagbibigay ng regalo, no? And then yung paglalaro, pagbibigay ng pera. Tapos nilagyan nyo rin dito yung mga signs, no? So, ang bata, kapag nakaramdam siya ng pagkalito sa ginagawa ng adult, ibig sabihin, there's something strange sa nangyayari. So, kailangan lang sabihin ng bata sa isang adult na pinagkakatiwalaan niya sa pagkalito na yun. At yun ay pinuntun nyo sa inyong video. Okay? Okay, so another point is the video is also teaching the students what to do, karapatan nila na mabuhay na malayo sa pag-aabuso. Maging matapang, magsabi ng huwag. Okay, tinuro nyo rin kung ano ang dapat gawin ng bata kapag sila ay inaabuso. Actually, dapat turuan natin yung mga bata maging matapang. Ang mga biktima usually ay yung mga mahina, yung mga shy, yung hindi assertive. So yung mga bata ay dapat assertive, alam nila kung ano yung mali, no? At nandiyan lahat sa video nyo. Very, very nice. Okay? So sabi nyo dyan, maging matapang, sabihin mo wag at tumakbo at pumunta sa isang adult. Tinuturo ko yan nung ako ay guidance counselor sa public school. No? Takbo sila sa guard, takbo sila sa teacher, no? At i-report. No? Hindi na uso ngayon, di ba nung kami mga bata, yung sinasabi kapag sumbongera ka, no? Di ba parang binubuli ka pag sumbongero ka. Ngayon, tinuturo na natin yung mga batang maging matapang at magsumbong. Hindi bawal ngayong panahon na to ang sumbongero or sumbongera. Okay, pinakita nyo rin sa video nyo that adult or teacher, no? The teacher shows the student that they are not alone and that they are there to protect them. The teacher is very compassionate. No? And it ended with the contact number. Kasi reality guys, I've been a guidance counselor. May mga adult, sorry sa teachers, sa mga teachers, may mga teachers, may mga barangay officials, ayaw makialam. Nakakaiyak. No? At the end of the day, bilang guidance counselor, mag-isa ka na lang. Okay, kasama mo yung social worker. But, nagbigay kayo ng mga telephone numbers, na if ever na walang mapuntahan yung bata, meron siyang telephone number na pwede puntahan. All in all, I can say that the video can be utilized for the purpose of preventing OSEC. My recommendation lang, kasi kailangan pwede siyang gamitin, no, is to dub. No? Dub in different dialects or sa mother tongue ng mga bata. Kasi may mga bata, meron din mga subtitles, pero may mga bata kasi hindi ganun kaano sa pagbabasa. And of course, sinahanap ko lang dito yung role ng isang social worker. Okay, usually kasi sa experience ko, after, ang tinatanong ng bata, ano pong mangyayari sa akin after? Huh? Yes, nag-report po ako. Ano pong mangyayari sa akin? No? Parang hindi ko yata nakita sa video yun. Let us parang assure the child that it's gonna be okay, no? Na may social worker na nandyan. Kasi yung mga tinutulungan ko before ay dinadala sila sa home for girls, sa home for boys, and the social workers are the ones who take care of them. No? After that, ang mga social workers ang kasama nila sa kaso, ang social workers ang kasama nila sa court. No? I don't know if it's still relevant, no? Kasi gusto lang nila naman dito is yung pang ano lang, yung parang yung pang ano lang sa self nila, what to do. Pero sa experience ko kasi, before a child would report, she would or he would ask, Ma'am, what would happen? Okay? So yun lang po. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rosana, for the very detailed feedback po. We will take note of those feedback, especially yung sinasabi niyo po na yung sa last part ni ma'am. So thank you po, Dr. Rosana. We're very thankful for your feedback and response. So now, last but not the least, we have a church partnership senior manager at International Justice Mission. IJM supports the end of all forms of online sexual exploitation of children. They focus on protecting children exploited by traffickers who create new child sexual exploitation materials. So our last reactor, no other than Miss Mary Gurley Glenn Tupas. Take it away, Miss Gigi.
Good morning, everyone. Again, congratulations, Leia, Carmi, Bernice, and nakikita ko lang dito sa screen. Zar, congratulations. This is a very well done advocacy material. Although sabi ni Miss Leia, dami naming usap, no? First meeting namin ni Leia, ano kami, sabi namin 30 minutes lang, pero lumampas lang pasan, but we really felt yung passion and interest talaga nung group. And to me, focusing on the issue, again, if we look at the attendees today, we come from different backgrounds, but ito yung kailangan because the issue is bigger than all of us. Bigger than our government, bigger than the families, bigger than the church, bigger than school. And therefore, we need to have a space where we need to talk. So first of all, sabi ni Miss Leia, 5 minutes lang daw. I'll try to be shorter than 5 minutes. Baka gutom na kayo. So number one, congratulations. It's a very well done advocacy material. Why? I'll tell you several reasons. Number one, the target are the children themselves. Often, of course, because we're the adults, we're very protective of children. We want to do everything to protect them, but we forget that children, first of all, have the power to protect themselves. And I believe in that. And this particular video material really sets them up to be more curious. It informs them of the essential things, but also invites them to learn more about protecting themselves. Pasensya na po kung sumasama sa meeting yung mga aso namin. Pasensya na. So this sets them up, that they have the power and they have the people to go to. Secondly, I really like it that you focus it on school because again, that's a very responsive and responsible way of looking at a particular solution to a particular issue because it's happening in the home and therefore mahirap doon. We've had cases, of course, alam to ni Miss Leia, and I'm sharing our latest na fact sheet with you where it says, majority ng perpetrator, as you've already shared, are parents or significant persons to the child. And so you need another space where they can report if these things are happening to them. And the teacher is very important, the guidance counselor, the school is very important. And to share with you, in some of those cases where we've had rescue operations, we've had rescues where it was best to rescue the child if she's going to school, to rescue her in the school. Why? To prevent the stigma in the community finding out that the child is a victim of the online sexual exploitation of children. And then, syempre, kahihiyan din sa family. Some parents are talagang unsuspecting in some cases. And that really is true in some of the cases we've handled. And so the school is very important. So the follow-up, alam na yan ng team nyo. I can feel na talagang, you'll go bombastic on the schools. I can see dito si Commissioner Gwen Pimentel-Gana, maraming salamat po. I'd like to thank Commission on Human Rights. Our team have been partnering with them because as I've shared with Ms. Leia, we've been using the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act when we prosecute cases of online sexual exploitation of children kasi yun ang pinakamabigat na parusa. And CHR, they really have support for survivors and yun. And then I'd like to also another reason is that I really love na may Tagalog and then Cebuano. Napag-usapan din namin ito ni Ms. Leia. Ako nga po, Ilonggo, so sabi ko, sana may hiligay nun din kasi things are also, OSEC also exist in Region 6, not the 7 or Mindanao. But of course, we do what we can with resources. So congratulations for that important detail. And I really like also that that's the goal. When you learn about the issue, you do not think of it. It will start as a school project, a requirement, but really, again, sinasabi ko po ito palagi sa mga kausap ko ng mga church leaders across denominations and other stakeholders na Pilipino na mga bata at kabataan ang biktima. Nalaman natin to because in 2011, we've had referrals from international law enforcement partners. Kasi nga, they have stronger laws, no, on their side, and they're more sophisticated sa kanilang mga technology kasi online yung crime. But now that we know about it, that targeted ay Pilipinong bata, Pilipinong kabataan, kailangan tayong mga Pilipino makialam. Kaya hindi ako mapapagod makipag-usap sa lahat ng gustong makipag-usap, because to me, and this is the last point that I want to say, it is very important to create safer environment for children communities. And na-share din kanina ni Ma'am from DSWD, true. Karamihan ng OSEC cases ngayon, it's because of rescue operations and not because they were reporting. We need to address that gap or even to shift the power, di ba? When there's an exploitation or an abuse, parang yung may power yung abuser, yung facilitator, yung trafficker. But if children, if schools, if teachers are empowered, this particular community, then we shift the power. Then we have the power to report and later on deter the crime, because we're saying, no, you cannot do this to children anymore because you will be put behind bars. And we need to send that strong signal that it is a crime. It is a crime, and therefore everybody who understands the issue should report if they know about it. And the hotlines that you've said, very helpful. And I'd like to add later on sa follow-up meeting na lang natin, Leia and team, yung Philippine Internet Crimes Against Children Center that's based in at Camp Crame. They also have a hotline, and they have regional teams who will really focus on online sexual exploitation of children cases. And it does not need to be may ebidensya na kayo everything, just the suspicion, just the red flag, then they will investigate. So masyado na akong madaming nasabi, but I'm really happy that you created a page. And I will promote your page sa networks namin, because again, law enforcement partners have been doing their part. DSWD, thank you. Social workers, grabe. Ako, one of the people that I really admire, our social workers in IGEM and our social workers partners from government and NGO shelters, because from protection to restoration, you're there for the children. And so, again, our doors are open. Alam na alam ni Ms. Leia yung kung paano ko kontakin at i-follow up. And we're here to partner with you, creating that safer community for children. And so let's keep the conversation going. Let's involve the children and the schools. And let's invite more people to this fight. Again, congratulations on a very well done first of its kind, talagang trailblazer. So maraming salamat. With that material, trust that it will protect, once it's out there. You cannot count, but it will protect a lot of children, and it will prevent from other people thinking about exploiting children online, magdadalawang isip. Maraming salamat, and God bless everyone. Thank you po, sir. Sir Rainier, ginawa niyo, na-inspire niyo yung students to actually do something that is really sustaining and will create something that is needed by Filipino children. Salamat, God bless.
Thank you so much, Miss Gigi. Totoo po yun, kailangan po namin ng pagkakaisa ng bawat different organizations and sectors in order to fight against OSEC. So we have heard the reactions and feedbacks from our representatives from different sectors. So once again, we are really thankful po for imparting us new ideas and the things that we really need to improve in our advocacy. So, as a sign of our gratitude, we would like to present our certificate of appreciation and participation. So, may I call on Miss Denise?
Thank you, Carmi. Sir Zar.
Sorry everyone, technical hitch lang. Give us a few seconds. Kagabi pa kami nagdadasal na walang technical hitch because of the internet connection. But here we go.
Okay. Thank you. So, University of the Philippines College of Social Work and Community Development, Department of Social Work. This certificate of appreciation is awarded to Attorney Gwendolyn Pimentel Gana, Commissioner, Policy Office, Commission on Human Rights, for committing her valuable time as a guest speaker during the premiere showing of Ang Lihim ni Emily, a social advocacy cartoon for the awareness and prevention of online sexual exploitation of children, or OSEC, held via Zoom on June 8, 2021. Signed by Associate Professor Rainier V. Almazan and Chairperson Dr. Justin Francis Leon Nicolas. Certificate of Appreciation awarded to Desiree Morales, Jessa Marie Martinez, Emelita Bolivar, and Dr. Rosana E. Pablico. And Ms. Marie Gurley Glenn Tupas. Thank you everyone for sharing this moment with us. Back to you, Carmi.
Thank you, Binies. So now we would also like to acknowledge the different non-government organizations na kasama po natin ngayon. Maraming salamat po sa oras nyo. So now we would like to open the virtual floor for the reactions from other attendees. Maybe one or two reactors po from our attendees. So if we have from the faculty or from the NGO representative, very welcome po. Anyone po na gustong mag-add to the reaction, feedback?
Carmi, this is
Yes.
Florence.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am Yen.
Florence talaga eh. Congratulations sa class. So ito yung pinagpaguran ninyo ha. Well, napaka-effective niya as material for awareness raising for children. Unang-una dahil Tagalog siya, talagang totoo yan, wala pang halos nagawa. Meron namang mga nagagawang mga Tagalog pero hindi na pa-publish, no? Hindi nagiging popular. Yung gusto ko lang sanang i-advocate na isama ninyo yung salitang exploitation. Kung ma-edit pa ba to? Kasi this is basically an exploitation. Abuso siya kasi bata, merong mas powerful na gumagawa niyan sa kanya. Pero wag nating kalimutan na kaya ginagawa yan. Kasi pagkakakitaan yung mga bata, hindi naman nila ipapakita yung mga maseselang katawan at ipipresenta ang mga bata sa mga perpetrators kung walang involved na benefit yung gumagawa niyan. So it is exploitation. Tapos, syempre itong material na to, sabi ko nga effective as awareness, pangunahing awareness sa bata kasi magiging springboard ito for more capacity building sa bata kasi hindi ito yung material na magtutulak talaga sa bata na magsumbong. Baka nga mas lalo pa siyang matakot pero dapat ito kapag ginamit sa eskwelahan, sa local government, sa mga komunidad, sasamahan siya ng iba pang mga capacity building and other services. Kasi kailangan pa maka-develop ng mga network ang bata, social network na magsusumbong siya kasi hindi agad yan magtitiwala maski teacher pa niya yan. Hindi porket nakita niya yan, magsusumbong na siya kaagad. So we have to be aware of that. And sa continuum of services, nakalagay siya sa preventive. Okay, so congratulations class. This is a very effective material. So makakahinga na yata kayo ngayon at makakapag-focus na kayo ng 100% sa class natin. Joke lang. Sige, congratulations kay Sir Rainier. Ayan. At sa lahat-lahat ng na-involve, yung mga partners ninyo. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof. Yen. Maraming salamat po sa feedback. We'll take note of that po. Meron pa po?
Well, Carmi, can I just say again, congratulations kay Professor and the class, no, and your team. At talaga naman very effective yung inyong advocacy material. At kung pwede, sana ipasa nyo din sa amin sa CHR, that maybe we can use it also as part of yung awareness program namin na ginagawa, no, sa Child Rights Center. And ang gaganda ng mga suggestions sa mga reactors natin, and I think it's a good thing na you can still incorporate them, no, in when you put it on to the public. So congratulations, and I'm very, very happy that you invited me and to be part of this launching. Thank you.
Thank you po, Commissioner Gwen. So meron pa po ba from the audience, last reactor?
Just a small suggestion but very important. Baka magandang yung may video, may sa start ng video na warning, medyo maselan yung topic, kasi sometimes it can trigger something, especially if the one who's watching happening, and then maybe afterwards, yung meron din parang follow-up na if you feel ganon, talk to a counselor, talk to your teacher, or ganon. Oo. Para natin yung nanonood, either bata or adult.
Salamat po, Ms. Gigi. Take noted po. Alright, so thank you po for the additional feedback from our audience and from our participants and guest speaker as well. So now we will proceed in the last part of this event. So we would like to call on our professor who passionately taught us the importance of advocacies and using our voice and other means to contribute in the fight for social justice and social change. No other than our very own Professor Rainier Almazan.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Una-una, ibig kong kayong pasalamatan lahat para sa paglalaan ng halos isang oras o isang oras para panoorin ang makikbaking animated video na ito tungkol sa online sexual exploitation ng mga bata. Halos buong semestre nila binuno ang class project na ito at nagsunog sila ng kilay ng mga ilang buwan para lang mapuno ito. So gusto ko talagang pasalamatan ang team na ito ng Social Work 215, isang advocacy class po namin dito sa UP, at ang ating animator, no, na gumawa nito. Mahusay po yung kanyang pagkakagawa ng animation. Pati na yung gumawa ng script, yung mahusay po yung pagkakagawa po ng script. Okay? So gusto ko pong pasalamatan particular yung mga reactors lahat, pinangunahan ni Commissioner Gana, no? Yung counselor from Tarlac University, yung mga teachers, yung bata, no, na nagsalita, at lahat ng mga nagbigay ng mga maiikling komento dito. We really do appreciate na pinanood niyo at nakinig kayo sa mga maikling paglalahad ng mga ilang datos ng aking mga estudyante. So muli, hindi na po ako magtatagal. Marami pong salamat sa inyong panonood.
Thank you, Prof. Rainier Almazan. So once again, we would like to thank everyone who has been part of this significant event. Let's continue to advocate for the rights, safety, and protection of children away from all forms of exploitation. Proteksyon at aksyon, sama-sama po nating wakasan ang OSEC. Thank you very much. Have a blessed and great day ahead. So, thank you po. Kung maaari po, last favor po namin, pwede po ba nating i-open ng ating mga video para lang po sa aming documentation, or if it is okay with you, we can upload it as well on social media or on our page po. So kung yung mga okay lang po magbukas ng video nila for the picture po. And Benice will take the pictures po. Yes. Okay, habang nagpipicture po tayo, we would like to remind everyone for the evaluation form. So andyan po sa ating, yung link po ay nasa ating chat box. Please, we will really appreciate your feedback sa amin pong project. And we will also send or forward the certificate of participation or participation after we receive your evaluation form po. Maraming salamat po.